Well, hello everybody. Welcome back to Sam's Doing Stuff. What am I doing today? Well, of course I got to keep cutting. I don't know if you can tell. I don't know if it makes a difference. The pile just keeps getting bigger, but the tree service brought more. I cannot believe it. It's a little overwhelming, I got to say. So number one priority is I absolutely have to dig into this. I remember my little pile over here. This is a little pile now. These things used to be huge. This used to be the big pile. I was going to get into all this big stuff. This, like I say, it's overwhelming. I don't know what to do. Here's a wide shot of it just to give you some perspective. Yeah, it's nuts. Absolutely nuts. How do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. But first, I lost a tooth off of the excavator bucket. And my dad suggested I use a magnet. Well, I have this big sweeper, this big magnetic sweeper that I use in the barn. Just run it over the floor every once in a while to make sure I pick up nails. Anyway, I know where I lost it because I saw it in the video. It's somewhere around here. The only problem is I pushed all this dirt and everything over top of all this. I don't know. If I don't find it with this, I'm just gonna buy another one. They're not that expensive. So some other stuff is happening too. I told you about this at the end of the last video. I know it's not like super exciting. It's not like a new tractor or whatever, I don't know. But this trailer is going to be used, of course, to take the baskets of firewood and deliver them. If you saw the video when I got the all-terrain pallet jack, I used my brother's trailer, which was a good test because it's pretty much the exact same trailer. This one's just longer. It has the 10,000 pound capacity and it's their Pro Series, so it's built a little bit stronger. I kind of expect that someday I'll be able to put some heavier equipment on this, so I got the heavier duty trailer. I always buy things to do more than what I'm expecting to do with them so that I don't abuse the equipment. So anyway, it's a nice trailer and it's gonna facilitate delivering all of the firewood. But of course, the universe always has to throw you a curveball. And as I was picking this trailer up, I got a noise inside the truck. From Googling it, it seems like it's a turbo leak. I don't know, check engine light came on. It was kind of sluggish, making a weird whistling noise. And only did it when the turbo engaged. So I'm pretty sure it's a turbo leak. So I've got that in the shop right now, and I'm sure they'll give me a call and let me know how much that's gonna cost. It's still way cheaper than buying a brand new fancy schmancy truck, you know? You got to take care of the things you have. And that leads me to this. Okay, I'm going to show you a product. I know this is our typical video, but this is so simple and easy. I'm just going to throw it in here. You guys should be happy when I get something to show you. Anyway, this is a cordless grease gun from SeeSii. They're the same company that sent me that little handheld saw with the pole saw thing, if you saw that. Anyway, they sent me this grease gun, and I've actually wanted one of these for a long time. So I'm gonna put it together and we're gonna grease up the tractor. All right, I got it all put together, loaded with grease. Loading it is exactly the same as one of your old style grease guns. As a matter of fact, this is the grease gun, the manual grease gun I used to use. There's a couple of things I wanna point out right now. I bought a Lock-N-Lube for my old grease gun here. The tip that they give you here is kind of like a Lock-N-Lube. It's very similar. It's got two handles though. So, oh, this is nice. They provide you with a little cap. I used to use a plastic bag over the other one. So anyway, if you can see here, I don't know if you can see it, but the little teeth come out like that and it just locks over your grease zerk. So very similar to a Lock-N-Lube. Hope there's no patent infringement there. Anyway, some features about this that I think are pretty cool. It's got a little light on it, you know, if you're not working somewhere where you can see the zerk very well. So it's got a light. And you can either use it this way, or you push this button and it rotates around So it's more of a pistol grip like that, which I kind of like this. I think I'll use it this way. Let's try it out. All right, let's get it primed up. There it comes. Okay, yep, we got grease. All right, let's give it a shot. Huh. Okay, there it goes. Nope. It's got to hook onto the Zerk for it to work right. Interesting. Am I doing something wrong? Push that down. The little teeth should hook over the end of the Zerk. There it goes. Now we got grease. Whoa. Yeah, it didn't grab it exactly right. Let's try another one. All right, this one's pretty much right out in the open here. Let's go ahead and get that on there. There, that's how it's supposed to latch on it. See, it's not coming off now. That was quick. Here's another one that's down in a hole like the other one was. Just got to get it on there right. Yeah, that should be on there good. All right, let's try it. There we go. That's good. That's easy. No, it's coming off of that one. Huh. I'm probably going to switch back to my Lock-N-Lube. It just works better. Not that this is a bad design, but the Lock-N-Lube works better. All right, we're still rolling. Okay, I just switched the nozzle over to my Lock-N-Lube. That is something that is good to know. If you've got a favorite nozzle for your grease gun and you want to use this electric grease gun, it is universal and it will switch over. See how much better that works? So as I showed earlier, it comes with this case, and originally I thought I was gonna have to take the tube off to put it back in the cage, which was really gonna bother me. But they were thoughtful enough. They put these little slots in the case so you can leave the hose on it and then close it up just like that. All right, overall, first impressions, it's an electric grease gun. It's pretty simple, it works, okay? The only thing I didn't like about it was the nozzle, and I changed that out to the Lock-N-Lube. It's a good thing that you can change that out. If you already own a Lock-N-Lube, you don't lose that benefit, you know? The best part about this thing is the price. So it comes with a gun, 2 batteries, a charger, gloves, a couple other accessories, and that connector that I didn't like. But the whole thing right now on Amazon is $119, and they'll probably give me some kind of discount code. I don't know. It'll all be in the description. So if you're really interested in one for 119 bucks, which is a lot less than the other brands, go check it out anyway. Now the tractor's ready to use. Let's go do some work. I've had quite a few people tell me, as I'm moving all these logs around and stuff, I'm doing all this tree works and firewood, they say, Sam, you really should get a grapple. You would love it. Well, guess what? I already have one. The thing is, I have the Pallet forks on almost all the time. And the reason for that is because you can do things with Pallet forks that you can do with a grapple, but you can't do things with a grapple that you can do with Pallet forks. So here we go. Because I don't have the truck, means I cannot use the trailer. The plan is now, pick up the big logs with the excavator, cut them into 16-inch rounds. Tractor is faster, so with the grapple, I'll grab the rounds and I'll carry them over to the concrete where they will wait to be processed. Here we go. So I've learned something. I have decided that after that little bit of experiment, it's probably better to just walk all these logs down to the concrete, one at a time. The big ones, you know? Because the amount of time it takes to take each individual piece is just ridiculous. So, we're gonna grab this monster here. Hopefully pick it up without tipping over. Swing it around. Oh yeah, that's a big one. And we're gonna just bring it on down next to the concrete. No, you just cut it right here. All right, everybody, it's the next day. I'm gonna throw up some time lapse here and you can just hear me talk over it. So I really am genuinely feeling overwhelmed with this. I mean, it's a good problem, right? I mean, let's just be honest, Sam. You're having good problems. And my anxiety is just like peaking because I want to get all this done. I feel like, oh, I gotta get going. I gotta get going. And no, enjoy it. My goodness, enjoy it. So enjoy it, but be smart about it. Like, I want to get this old stuff done first. And that's what I'm working on right now. First, I'm getting the stuff that's on the ground, these big, ugly pieces, doing the stuff that I like the least. Stuff that I don't want to do, you know? It feels like kind of that do what you have to do first, then you can do what you want to do thing. And yeah, just grabbing these big, ugly chunks, turning them into 16-inch rounds, little at a time, and just trying not to push myself beyond what I should, you know? Just do it a little bit at a time. Every single time I cut up one of these logs, I'm having to touch up my chain. There's a lot of mud and dirt on these old ones that have been sitting there. And yeah, it's just part of the game, part of what you got to do. So we'll just pick away at it. There's railroad ties. Ugh. Sawdust in my face. There's railroad ties that I'm using as stringers underneath this smaller pile. I can't believe I'm using the word smaller pile of old ones. Once I get all those out of the way, then I can take the newer ones and I can put those on the stringers. Then I won't be as worried about those getting all messed up. But just trying to do everything in order, you know, getting all the rounds cut up first. Yeah, I've been doing a lot of splitting lately, so, you know, feels good to be cutting. I just feel this anxiety. I feel this rush, this need to get it all done right away. And I got to get that out of my head, you know? The old stuff that I'm cutting up right now, when I start splitting it, it should be ready to sell this fall. By the time I get through the rest of my other stock that I have, this stuff should be ready to sell because it sat for a couple years, you know? And yeah, there's a lot of crappy wood on the outside, but there's some good stuff on the inside. So I think it's worth putting the work in. And of course, the tree service wood that I just got, you can't get any better price than free. So anyway, we'll see what I get done today. I'm putting off other projects right now because of the truck repair that needs done. I don't know how much that's going to be. Hopefully it's less than $1,000. It just seems like every time you take a diesel in, it's more than $1,000 to repair it. But I'm glad that I have the money available that I was saving to do a project with, that I could put into getting the truck fixed. It's just the way the universe works, you know, you got to roll with it. So take the next right step. Anyway, let's see how much I get done today. So I'm in the middle of cutting rounds, and guess what happened? Yeah, tree service stopped by again. Man, I can't get ahead. There's no way I'm gonna get ahead. The only way I'm gonna get ahead is when they finish up in our area, because that's why I'm getting so much right now. He's out and he's got lots of jobs in this area, and so he's dropping it all here. But once he's done and he's doing stuff elsewhere, it's not gonna be convenient for him to bring all this wood to me. So I'm taking it now while I can get it. Yeah. Well, I still haven't heard about my truck. And it's kind of disheartening because I've got plans for the wood yard where I'm going to store all my bulk firewood. And it has to do with materials for building a wall and all kinds of stuff. But I got to find out how much that truck's going to be first. At least I've got the money saved up. It was for that. The truck's important. The truck's very important, so got to have it. Anyway, that's it. I'm done. I'm beat. I don't know what else to tell you. And you're probably wondering, Sam, how the heck are you going to split all those up? I'll manage. I got something planned, so you'll have to see that sometime later. You'll have to subscribe. You'll have to hit the like button. You'll have to do all the buttons. And then I'll see you next time when I'm doing more stuff.